Hello everyone, it's Christine from Christine Stamping Spot. I'm an independent demonstrator for Stampin' Up! In Alberta, Canada, and welcome to my Mystery Monday video today. I'm happy to have you join in from wherever you're joining from. I hope you also had a wonderful Father's Day yesterday with your husbands or dads or grandfathers or sons or whomever you had the opportunity to celebrate with. So I hope you had a wonderful time. So today we are going to use this Layers of Beauty bundle, which is a new bundle in our annual catalog, and it can be found on page 57. So I hope you can see that. So this is actually a really great bundle because instead of just getting the stamp set and dies like you would in a normal bundle, you get the stamp set, the dies, and the decorative masks. So a great deal for all three pieces. You can also just order them individually if you like. And it's $78.25 for all three pieces. So there is also, as many of you are probably aware, our 10% off bundles for the month of June. So you can go in and see if this one is available and get 10% off of that price. And remember, our bundles are already discounted by 10%. So you're basically saving 20% overall, which is fantastic. So we will give this a try, and we're going to try a new technique that I saw from Linda Dulkey, who is an Australian demonstrator. I love her work. I had the privilege of meeting her a while back at an event, and she's just lovely, and her work is so inspiring and amazing. And the technique that she showcased was called reverse embossing. So we're going to give that a try with our project and see how that goes. Now, this is the Layers of Beauty stamp set, so it's got some great little greetings, and these are the dies right here, so you can die cut these images, so awesome. And these are the masks that you get. So you get 5 masks. Now, I don't know if you can see this with the reflection here, the lighting, but they're numbered. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the notches are here as well to let you know how they would line up. Okay, so you want to use them in this particular order, starting with number 1. So we'll go through these, and also the notches are to kind of keep these from going in the right direction. So you don't want your notch on this side. You want them all to be lining up in the same direction. That way your images will all get inked up as they're supposed to. Okay, so the project we are going to make is this one, using these beautiful roses. And the beauty of this technique too, and with our masks, is you can create these in any particular color palette that you love, that you like. If you want to experiment, go for it, because you may just be really surprised at the results that you get. So we are going to try this one. These colors here, and I'll tell you what they are as we go. Okay, so the first step in reverse embossing is, now I might need to cut an extra piece. Oh, no, I did already. Okay, so I did stamp my image first. Okay, so that is this large rose image here. And I stamped that in our black memento. And then we're going to do our reverse masking first before we start coloring all of these flowers. So what I did is I took the largest die in the set and cut that out just out of basic white cardstock, whatever color cardstock you want. And this will fit exactly over the stamped image, which is what creates your mask. Okay, now you could also cut this out of our masking paper, but I didn't have any here, and that would then just stick on top so it wouldn't really shift. Just be careful. I've heard sometimes if you really stick it down hard, it may be a little bit tricky to get it off. So just lightly adhere that mask if you are using our masking paper. But I'm just going to try to do this without adhering this and see how we go. Okay, so to do this reverse emboss, I am going to start with some Balmy Blue. And this is just going to create kind of a halo of color around the image. Okay, So you're going to start on top of the mask, because sometimes if you start with your blending brush right on the surface, it can leave a big blob or just a really concentrated amount of color. So I'm going to start on the mask and just rotate around the edges of this die. And you can make this as light or as dark as you like. I just want a subtle halo around here. And I know Linda, when I was watching one of her videos, she had actually done this with 2 different colors. But I thought I'm just going to stick to the one, because this is a really large image and it basically is the size of a card front. So I cut this white down to 5 1/4 by 4. And that is what I'm going to put on top of our card base. And I thought just by adding 1 color, that would probably be enough. Okay, so let's just do a little bit here. Any spots we missed, and again, do it as light or as dark. You can take it off to take a peek, and if you want it darker, you can do it darker. Okay, I think I am just going to leave that, and let's see. Okay, so do you see how we kind of have that halo of color around there? I think that's awesome. It just makes that image pop a little bit, right? And you can keep this and use it for different colors, your mask, or cut others. Now you could have put a darker shade around, I suppose, but I just like that little bit of white popping out and that little bit of balmy blue that's coming out there. I think that's great. Okay, so now we can start with the actual masks. So the first color I'm going to start with is Fresh Freesia. So we're going to stick to this purple palette that I did in my sample. Excuse me, frog in my throat. Okay, so now what you're going to do is, this is mask number 1, and for me, the way I stamp my image, I have my notches here at the top right. So you're going to line this up, and for me, I found it was easier to start with these tiny flowers and then just kind of rotate this mask until it's in place around all the other little ones, okay? So you see how the roses are popping out there, and you can just adjust it a teeny bit if you need to. Okay, so I am just going to ink up my blending brush in Fresh Freesia. And again, apply as little or as much as you like. And I'm starting with the lighter color because as you continue with the masks, the amount that you're inking gets less and less. You end up doing more detail with the subsequent masks. So I'm just going to leave mine like that. Okay, you can see it's already starting to pop. Okay, so we'll put that mask aside and this color aside because we're done with the Fresh Freesia. So now we're going to go to the second one, which is going to add a little more detail, and I'm going to use Highland Heather for this layer. I'll just ink this up a little and then get my mask. So this is mask number 2, and I have my notch going in the same place. So again, I'm just going to start with those little flowers because those kind of help me get going. And once you get the first ones going, the others just gradually kind of fall into place. Now you might think, oh, that doesn't look like it's lined up, but it is. You can check on these little flowers here, and you see how those are kind of lined up. Okay, and just take your time with it. Like, don't rush it. Have it in a spot that you're happy with. And don't forget, like, if you happen to go over a bit or not quite enough, that's okay. It kind of adds to the look of your project at the end. It kind of looks like it's almost just watercolored by hand, right? Okay, so I'm just going to add a bit of darker color here. This is a shade darker, and you can do this in pinks or whatever colors you like, right? Okay, and if they're not all exactly the same, that's okay. So there we go. We have another pop of color. Beautiful. All right, so let's put this one away. And the third, I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape. Now, you don't have to use this third mask. It does offer a little bit more in some spots. Like, for example, I think it's going to be covering these little centers of these flowers. So we're going to use mask number 3 with our notch over here. And see, there isn't very much in the masks that we're going to be coloring. So I am going to line up these dots of the centers of these flowers because I know those are going to be covered. And then the rest will just sort of fall where it's supposed to. Okay, so I'm going to use Gorgeous Grape, which is even a darker purple. And like I say, you don't have to use this third one, but I just wanted to show you what all of the layers, what the end result is if we use all of them, okay? And there you go. You have that little bit of extra dark color there popping through, right? Right. I love this. This is so awesome. Okay. So now we're going to go to mask number 4. And what that is going to do is we're going to start working on these leaves. So this is mask number 4. And we're just going to lay that over our leaf images. And you can decide what color you want your leaves to be. I'm going to start with some Old Olive, but you could go Granny Apple Green. You could go any other shade of green that you wanted. Even some of our in-color greens are kind of cool. I'm going to stick to, oh, sorry, this is my other green. Sorry, I opened the wrong one. I almost made a mistake, although maybe it isn't going to be a mistake. It might have turned out just as well. Okay, I'm going to go with Old Olive here. Now, I think this is where I want it. Got my leaves kind of showing through there, if you can see them. Okay, so let's just go over this with some Old Olive. And if some of them are a little lighter than others, that's fine. You can just experiment with pressure and color. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Ta-da! So that green adds quite a bit right there. And our last one, our last mask is number 5. Again, the notch in the top right. And this is just going to add a little bit of detail to all of these leaves. So let's put this on top of our leaves again. And for this one, I'm going to go with Garden Green. Is the green that I've chosen. And we'll see how that goes. Okay, so let's start over here. And you can just go light. You don't have to go dark. Whatever your little heart desires. This is where it's fun to just play because then you can see. All right, so it added that little bit of extra detail in the leaves that you see in the dark green. And there is our masking all done. And you've got that reverse mask around. And if you can see, it leaves almost a little bit of a white halo in here as well, which is great too. I think that's really cool. So there you go. Now we can put this on our card base. So for this one, I'm going to go with Highland Heather. I'm going to stick to the purples families here. And see how this looks. It's going to be the original sample I had was Gorgeous Grape, but I'll compare these when we're done. Okay. So here we go. We'll put this on our Highland Heather. And now you can decide, do you want it this way? Do you want it this way? I think I'll go this way. You could even do it this way as well. You could do it more of a vertical instead of a horizontal. That would be nice too. Would switch it up a little bit. And I should mention with these masks, once you're finished with them, all you do is run them under water. Just run them under the tap, give it a little wipe, and all of the color should come off. And then you can just dry them and they're ready to go for the next time, because they're just made out of sort of a plastic, right? So just rinse those off under the tap and you are good to go. Okay, so here, now I wanted to add a greeting, so I did one. I embossed a happy birthday from, I believe, the translucent floral stamp set, and I just embossed it in white, and then I'm just going to pop that up with a couple of dimensionals, and I cut this out of the postage dies, if you're wondering what this die is. So we'll do that there. And the last, I think, because it's a pretty happy birthday card, we're going to add a bit of bling. So we have our purple fine shimmer gems. We have a darker purple and a lighter purple. I think I'm going to stick with the lighter purple. And just add a couple of these just for a little bit of sparkle. And then your card will be finished. Now, isn't that just so pretty? It looks like you've painted that yourself. And here is the one that I put on the gorgeous grape. This is from the stamp set You Make My Heart Smile. This is from a different one, but same idea. The only difference is my roses are kind of reversed on the other side, so you can play around with that as well. So I hope you enjoyed that technique and give it a try. And our masks, they're amazing. So give that a try, and don't forget our 10% bundle special goes till the end of June, so you can get some really great products at a discounted price. So I hope you take advantage of that as well. So I hope you have a wonderful week, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.